Hello, my name is Elizabeth Chung and I'll be your student docent. Bonte Museum was opened in November 2012 with the aim of sharing with the public the Korean artifacts and contemporary artworks that the museum's founder has collected over the past 40 years. Let's go! The museum buildings were designed by Tadao Ando, one of the most celebrated architects in the world and a winner of the Pritzker Architecture Award, widely considered the Nobel Prize of the architecture world. Tadao employs the concepts of modernity and tradition that conform with the nature of Jeju when designing bonte. His architecture style that highlights exposed concrete, geometric forms, and water and light as architectural components creates a union with nature. Through his use of solid lines and the museum's traditional Korean walls, Tadao blurs the differences between traditional and modern spaces. Bonte Museum has 5 galleries. Gallery 1 exhibits traditional Korean artifacts. Gallery 2 and 3, contemporary artwork. Gallery 4, funeral beer and gokdu, which represent traditional Korean funeral culture. And Gallery 5, Buddhist art, which closely relates to Korean customs. Through this vast collection, Bonte Museum creates discourse between the past and present and shares Korean traditional culture to the world. Although the galleries are in distinct buildings, the sculptures lining the path connecting the buildings engenders a sense of coexistence and unity both inside and outside of the museum. Today I'll be introducing to you a couple of artworks from Gallery 1, which houses many of the museum's most representative pieces. Once you step into Gallery 1, you'll immediately see the subtitle of the permanent exhibition, In Search of Beauty. Beauty is the highest virtue that Bonte Museum pursues. As its name represents, Bonte Museum explores the beauty of the original form. Gallery 1 explores the beauty of the original form by examining 19th century handcrafted artifacts and furniture of Joseon. This space features 2 distinct spaces reserved for women and men respectively, which emulates the firm disparity implemented by the Confucian patriarchy of the Joseon dynasty. There is a collection of folding screens on display at Bonte Museum, like this beautiful example. Folding screens are not only functional, but they were also decorative as well. They are used to prevent drafts and create a sense of privacy. They were also used for special occasions such as wedding ceremonies and funerals. Folding screens were widely used regardless of social class. They are found in both royal and noble households, as well as in commoners. This 10-panel silk folding screen is embroidered with an image of 2 pine trees surrounded by the 10 longevity symbols. The 2 pine trees are arranged to form the character Bu, which means father, to symbolize filial piety. If you look closely, you can see each colorful thread painstakingly embroidered onto the 10 panels. Here, objects exemplify the variety of color and form in artisanal culture are on display, such as red folding screens, lacquered boxes with inlaid mother of pearl, and red and yellow boxes decorated with painted ox horns. The box in the middle is one decorated with painted ox horn. It is a remarkable example of the hwagak craft. Hwagak is a traditional Korean craft practiced in the Goryeo and Joseon dynasties along with lacquerware with inlaid mother of pearl. It is no surprise that hwagak was exclusively used by the royal family or upper class to showcase their affluence and power. Hwagak boxes were usually decorated with auspicious designs to bring the user good fortune. Such auspicious designs included the holy and kingly dragon, the mythical birds ponghang, which stood for peace and prosperity, the large and colorful leaves of the peony flower, which stood for wealth and glory, the 10 longevity symbols, including clouds, deer, the lingzi mushrooms, and the crane, and finally the lotus flower, which stands for fecundity and creation of life. Hwagak was especially expensive as its use was regulated by the nation, as hwagak was also used to produce weaponry such as bows. Therefore, it was inaccessible even to nobles. A soban is a tray table with a flat top and short legs. Sobans are used both to eat food from and to carry food to and from the kitchen and the living spaces. Sobans were named after places of production, usage, and forms. For example, the kujukban shown here has legs the shape of a dog's ass and is therefore called dog foot table. The hojokban shown here has legs and feet in the shape of a tiger's legs and paws and is therefore called tiger foot table. At Bonte Museum, the 47 sobans on display are arranged to create the illusion of a 9-foot tower. Although sobans are usually thought of as small trays for food, this sculpture reinterpretation elicits a sense of contemporary architectural beauty. Bonte Museum's signature artwork, 29 pojagi reinvented into a single painting-like artwork, is on display on this wall. Pojagi is one of the traditional folk arts of Korea and is created by patchwork from remnants of cloth. Pojagi was very popular among the lower classes during the Joseon dynasty. Here, a collection of wood furniture is on display. Relatively few species of trees grow in Korea, but those that do provide a wide variety of textures. Korean cabinet makers specialize in using different textures for different parts of furniture. They prefer to finish furniture lightly with lacquer to preserve its natural grain. Furniture with natural grain shows a traditional Korean sense of aesthetic and adaptation to the local environment. This wardrobe here is an example of the late Joseon period style of furniture that was used to hang long clothes. There is a longer chest installed on top of a shorter chest. This particular furniture shows the natural grain of wood and emphasizes a raw texture. Chekgado is a type of still life painting on folding screens which depict books, antiques, flowers, and other paraphernalia in a scholar's private study. In Joseon, Chekgado was very popular both in the royal court and among commoners. The origins of Chekgado can be found in the painting of Cabinet of Curiosities by Giuseppe Castiglione, who was a Jesuit brother and missionary in Qing, China. He painted his Cabinet of Curiosities using Western techniques such as linear perspective and shading. In the Joseon dynasty, Chekgado began to be produced in the 18th century by court painters for the royal court and later gained popularity among commoners in the 19th century. Gallery 1 provides a glimpse into the everyday lives of people in 19th century Joseon. Those people would have never imagined that their household items would be on display in a museum hundreds of years later. Beauty of the original form can exist in the most unexpected places. Beauty is all around us. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you at Bonte Museum soon. Thank you.